Guys, how you doing? Dan from Stone here, Real Life Gig Advice. I'm still here in the Maldives, and as I mentioned, I'm going to speak to all the guys in the band, and because we're always talking about all this stuff anyway. So I'm here today with my mate, Loucas Hajiantoni. How's it going? How's it going, mate? You alright?
I'm good, man. Yeah.
Cool. So we were just talking about what was it we were talking about? Adapting
to as many musical situations as possible.
Yeah. You had some like really cool insights on it, didn't you? So
Yeah.
I thought I'd whip out the camera.
I was joking the other day saying that probably the most common song that's played at jam nights is Chameleon. And it's the word that I feel has really helped me with my career. Really trying to adapt to every musical situation, social situation, whether I'm a musical director on a tour or I'm hanging out at the bar with the guys, trying to just find my place in that. I think
that's right. You know, as players, as session musicians, you're constantly adapting, aren't you? Like pretty much, I'm pretty much repeating what you just said, but very rare that you'll be playing in the same venue all the time, isn't it?
Yeah, or playing the same gig, the same set with the same musicians. Yeah. You know, you're depping on things, you're running around town doing different things.
And with that all, it's like you say, like all these things that you've got to adapt to. You've got to adapt to a new sound guy, for example, a new musicians in a band, how to approach them. You know, even if they speak another language, for example, it could be as far as that. You know,
when I moved to London 2012, so almost 9 years ago, and realised quite quickly I'm sort of submerged into a music scene, a music industry, as you want to call it. But then realised that there was so many different schools of thought and backgrounds where people came from. I came from did a master's degree in music and university degree, and then you'd be working with musicians that have never read a single bit of music. Yeah. Yet they might have just come off a stadium tour. And it's a different experience. And you're learning how to communicate with them. My sort of school of learning in London was going to jam nights, which really useful for me, wasn't it?
Yeah, you mentioned something, didn't you, about being prepared about jam nights, what you used to do, like go down to jam nights, and I'll let you tell the story.
I used to, so I'm from Southampton, and I used to drive up to Ronnie Scott's at the jam upstairs, and probably met you there for the first time, and lots of people there. And the first time I went, I just went as a punter, really, and lots of these songs were being played that I'd never heard of. Lots of neo soul, D'Angelo songs, Erykah Badu, lots of function songs as well, and even like modern hits as well that people had decided that you could arrange for a live band. And so I would just notate songs that people were playing on stage, sometimes 5 or 6 songs, go home, learn them, come back the next week, and then if someone says, oh, the keyboard player on stage doesn't know this on and on, Erykah Badu, you're like, well, I know it, and you walk up, play it, and then you do the same thing, 5 weeks in a row, and then suddenly I found myself a couple of years later knowing or understanding the repertoire that these kind of situations demanded.
Exactly,
then you're in a house band, and
and then gigs pick up from that as
and
well,
gigs come from that, sure.
Yeah. So I did a video a couple of weeks ago where it was how to nail it at any jam session, and that was one of the things that I spoke about. I said, you know, what you should do is figure out what tunes that the singers are calling on a regular basis, and then you can like get them in your back pocket. And guys, look, it's not just coming from me; it's coming from Loucas as well, you know.
And the first phase was repertoire, really, in those situations.
I'm
not saying that jam nights is the be all and end all.
Your repertoire is so impressive. It's really so impressive.
And that was sort of phase. The second phase I noticed was I started switching into becoming like a leader on stage, because I knew lots of songs, and often a singer would turn, I want to do this song, and maybe I'd be the only person that knew the song. So then I had to quickly communicate that to other musicians, like I was saying earlier about maybe people don't know songs. Sometimes I'll be on stage calling, 4 chords, 5, 6, and most people on stage may not understand that.
And again, that's adapting again, isn't it? And then on top of that, you've got to think, okay, I don't know who this bass player is, I don't know who the drummer is, you might not know who the singer is, but you might you might hear something or know something about the background which might imply something that might affect your performance or the way that you know, if somebody might not be comfortable with like reharmonizations and stuff like that, you might just strip it back a little bit or something like that, you know.
But and the more you immerse yourself in those situations, then it becomes very intuitive. You understand musicians very quickly, I find.
Yeah.
You start hearing jazz vocabulary of someone, you know they're going to understand 251's jazz harmony.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
You know. So
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Anything else you want to say?
I could spend hours talking about it.
See what I mean, guys? Like, real life gig advice this is what we talk about all the time. But anyway, guys, Loucas Hajiantoni, where can we find you on Instagram?
Instagram, Loucas Haj. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll link it up somewhere here anyway and do all that. Thanks so much, mate.
You're welcome, man.
Hey. Bye, guys. Nice one. Take it easy.